This is, what's the date, Fireman Kenny?
I don't know.
We're checking on the date. Hold on. But this is
August 28th.
August 28th, 2020. And this is the Red House. Oh. They say that black is slimming. Whoop. Oh, look at all the people joining us right off the bat. Welcome, everyone. Boop. Boop.
Spilled Gatorade on my uniform.
You spilled Gatorade?
On my uniform.
Oh no, Fireman Kenny just spilled orange Gatorade all over his hot fireman outfit. So, lower your expectations. It's all downhill from here.
It's sugar-free, too.
Oh no, sugar.
Double bad.
Sugar-free. Sugar-free. Oh wait, that's the poppers. That's not the protection oil. Oops. Where's the protection oil? Okay, yeah, rough fucking week to be an American. This week fucking sucked. As if. So minor. So minor compared to the rest of the world and what happened this week. But on a minor note, my internet was fucked all week, and I must have spent 8 hours on hold. So yeah, I'm a little uptight. So this is for all of you, all those people out there. Ooh, we'll get really close to the camera for the dramatic effect. Smells really good. It's from my elder Silverwolf, Thundercloud Silverwolf, and he's sending his protection energy out to all of you. And there's amber and cedar and sage in this oil and a bunch of his good medicine. So I wish you could be here to breathe it in, but energetically I trust in the transfer. So may everyone be protected and surrounded with love and with support and healing. And so we go. Oh yeah. Ta-da! Ta-da! Look, everyone. We've made some changes to a storied old building. Yes, it was time for an update. That neoclassic, all white, gone. That's so last century. Come on, time to update. Time to feel the fascism. Yes, I mean the fashion. Fashion is what we were going for with the red and black, not fascism. Don't be silly. I mean, what is it? Have you ever thought Republicans, fascists, they both have a thing for red? Is it just me? Because, like, they really, like, it keeps coming up. You know, rebels, red, fascism, red, Republicans, red. It's like there's a theme there, not to mention. Not to mention, it said the devil likes red too. So I don't know if that's true or not. I personally have only met the devil when I was half unconscious. And so I'm not really sure that he likes red, but he did appear red. He did definitely appear red. But I'm not sure that that was his preference. Anyway, whoa, I was inspired by Van Gogh with all the black crows. And so I looked up Van Gogh today to try and figure out how he painted all those black crows right at the end of his life. Right before he died, he did a bunch of wheat fields with lots of black crows descending like harbingers. Harbingers of change. Harbingers of change. I'm not actually worried. See, I come here every week to play. The goal of being here is to play and to forget about the week. But all day, all I could think of was the week. It was like, I don't know, like a tipping point kind of week. It was super sickening. Super sickening. Super super sickening. Kenny, would you bring forward the box of divination? It's time. I can't. I've been waiting all week. Oh, thank you. Thank you, fireman. Let's see. I wonder what the divination will be today. Whoa. Okay. You'll be the first to see it before me. Let's see, we'll hold it up for the camera. Fireman Kenny, will you read the button out loud?
My dog's indoor poops are my teacher.
My dog's indoor poops are my teacher. Words to live by. Words to live by. My dog's indoor poops. Okay, true story from here at Spring Street. We live in a house built in 1906. So it's 116 years old, and it's built in the Georgian style, which is what the White House was built in the Georgian era, in the original Georgia. So this would be like, the original White House was Georgian architecture in the Palladian style. We are not in the Palladian style, but we are technically Georgian architecture, but it's like a cheap suburban version. You know how they have McMansions now, and you kind of like, oh, McMansions are gross, bleh. And well, I live in a McMansion, but it just happens to be a McMansion from 1904. So it kind of like, yeah, that's awesome. That's such a great house you live in. I'm like, thank you. I'm thrilled to live here. I love this house. And the reality is that in 1904, somebody built a McMansion. And it had a little goo and a little ga and a little this and a little that. And nothing that cost a lot of money. It was mostly stuff that was cheap to produce back in the day. And now it's like, ooh, 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 you live in an old house. And I'm like, I live in a lovely old house, which I love. But at the end of the day, it's not so different than those houses some of you like to besmirch, which are in the suburbs. And if we wait long enough, your besmirches might fail you. And you might realize that given enough time, those McMansions with their drywall and their recessed lighting and their marble countertops will someday be seen as swelligant again. So, if you're living in a McMansion right now, if you're watching my broadcast from your sunken living room or your study/den inside your McMansion, I want you to know that you're special, that I love you too. And I don't mind drywall. I know a lot of us have to live with drywall. I have a friend who hates drywall. He hates it. Really, like he prides himself on having never lived in a house with drywall. Of course, this man also still has a flip phone, which he's about to lose because the company is turning off flip phones. They don't work anymore on the new systems. So my friend, who is an honorable Luddite, he grabs a hold of the old ways, including his flip phone. And he can't help but feel slightly superior to the rest of us. And his whole identity is wrapped around in, my flip phone is as close to the technological revolution as I can go, and I will never live in a house with drywall. And he hasn't, but he's gonna have to do something about that flip phone. Knowing him, he'll probably just turn it off and not get a new one because he's so stubborn. So yeah, it was a rough week, but we're feeling better. Let's go back and see our friends who are back on the table. Oh, look who's back there. It's Rich and folks. So, first of all, I'm always hesitant. I don't know if you can see these. I'll try and tilt them in. I'm always hesitant to do ritual with living flowers and plants because then you feel extra obligated to keep them alive, and I have a brown thumb. And so my brown-eyed Susans that I planted 2 weeks ago, we had a heat wave and it was like 100 degrees and they fried in a day, like boom, the day after the show. I think it was a Saturday. Crispy critters. But look, Hope springs eternal. Two single brown eyes have, or is it black eyes? I can't remember. Is it brown eyes or black eyed Susans? They have survived. Two flowers. So, I guess my work of burying that stuff didn't go for naught. I mean, two are still alive, and I'm gonna do my best to keep it from drying out. Fireman Kinney, you look like you have something to say.
Oh, no, I was going to say brown-eyed.
Brown-eyed Susans. Thank you, Fireman Kinney. Fireman Kinney is very smart. Very, very smart.
I have a phone.
So, we're going to call the ancestors in. And I can just, like, in the far off distance, I can just barely read comments. And I saw one from Ash. Hi, Ash. Thanks for commenting. Ash is a real artist, and he liked my birds. So thank you for those comments, Ash. So we call out to our ancestors, and we give them the poppers. You know, I keep wanting to find a butcher head for Dead Lover Rich, because this one's kind of gender neutral-ish. If you look at it closely, I'm always like, Rich was definitely not gender neutral. He was like clearly a thing that was boy and man. And so this one always has like it's not quite right, but you know, it's just an effigy. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there's that. You know who's back here? Moldy Jesus and Marla Maples. Okay. Fireman Kinney, want a drink?
Sure.
Fireman Kinney's off camera today. Just out of sight. But I was talking with a bunch of people that are much smarter than me this week. And we were talking about the plague of thieves and the sacrificing of the bull. And it was a really juicy conversation. And the root of the conversation was, what do you do when a whole culture is infected? And we were talking about art and ritual and myth and asking that question. So I'm really honored to be working with a group of amazing individuals, and we meet once a week and we talk about that topic. What kind of art do you make in this moment? And the conversations are so juicy. And one of the things that came up and that I wanted to offer to, because I know a lot of my friends are artists who watch this, and what I wanted to offer is, how do I say this? There's two sides within me. One of them is trained to think that I don't have any power, and to think that ritual doesn't matter, and that my artwork is silly because it's based in the idea that I can transform things, and that I can use my will, and by stating my intention, help create a new world. So there's part of me that thinks that's an infantile, childlike belief. And there's another part of me, the higher part of myself, the grounded, connected, more truthful part of myself that knows with certainty that that is the truth of who we are, that when we are in the process of creation, we are tapping into a kind of divinity, and through us and with us, that divinity would love nothing more than to support evolutionary actions. And so what I want to send out to my co-creators in this coming new world is that we have it within our hands to co-create something beautiful and radical and transformative. And so that's what I believe. And all the time I have to deal with that voice inside of me that wants to say something else, that wants to tell me I'm not a magician, that I'm not a witch, that I don't have power, that I don't have ability. And so I dance with those two things, and I was dancing them earlier this week when we were having that conversation, and it hit me really hard thinking about radical transformation. And I am here to say I believe in myself as a practitioner of medicine, and I believe in my community as practitioners of medicine. And I know the chains of medicine lineage have been broken for many, many artists. Most of us didn't have an elder handing off a tradition or a belief in ourselves to us. And so we have had to pick through the rubble of a kind of apocalypse and find the pieces of medicine shining like stones and rocks, and to pick those up and own it ourselves, and to have faith in ourselves. And that's really a hard thing to do when it seems like the whole outside world doesn't believe, and when there's so much pressure to not believe in yourself because you were trained with it. But I have seen the spark of radical genius and transformation within my artist friends. And I believe in our capacity as people to transcend this current horror show with radical actions and radical creations. And so that's what I offer to everybody watching. It is within our hands, and I want you to know I believe this. And you can think I'm crazy, that's okay, I'm sure some people will, but I believe this in my heart. And there's just little shadowy parts of myself that doubt, but I'm working on getting rid of those. And so I just want you all to know that I believe in you. I believe in your impulse to create. I offer that a really strong prayer is to state that you want to be in alignment with evolution. I don't like to vilify the shadow. We all have shadow, and we all have light, and that is part of who we are. And so I don't like to pray that the shadow goes away. But I do like to pray on a daily, every time I orgasm. Almost every time. Yeah, that's kind of not supposed to talk about that, but you know what? I figure might as well start talking about it because the White House is red now. So yeah, that's a big part of my practice. I orgasm and I pray. So for what it's worth, you might give it a shot. I'll probably do that at some point. I'll do a little show about that, but baby steps. Not quite ready to give you all the deets just yet. So I offer that a really strong prayer is to put yourself in alignment with evolution. And don't try to banish your shadow. Just try to see it for what it is. And just pray that you can be honest with yourself. Pray for honesty. And pray to see all the sides of yourself. Pray to honestly see your light, because that's really hard too. It's when there's so much pressure on us to be less than, and to not step out of line, and to not be big. So pray to see your light, and pray to see your shadow, and pray to see yourself truthfully, and pray to be in alignment with evolution. That's one way of doing it. There's 1,000 other ways of doing it. I'm just offering you what I do. So there you have that. And so I had this idea of doing a White House. And so I started doing research on the White House and refreshing my memory about Ionic columns and Greek architecture, Greek Neo-Gothic or Neo-Greco architecture, and digging into all the deets. And one thing I realized I totally forgot, but I knew it at some point. In 1814, as part of the War of 1812, the British burned down the White House. I completely forgot that they burned down the White House. And the White House has been this evolutionary thing. It's evolved over time. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's got this huge amount of space underneath it. It's top secret. We're not supposed to know it, but there's all this stuff on the internet, because the internet. They tell you everything. And you can believe all of it, because they never, ever lie on the internet. So there's lots of stuff on the internet about the underground White House. So it's very intriguing. But I was sitting with the White House, reading about the White House, and all the stuff was going on this week, and I'm just like, I feel like Melania wants to paint it red and black. So I did a little mock-up for her. I know it's kind of Armageddon-y, and I'm supposed to be more light and shiny, but so here's what I want you to know what's going to happen. We're going to make over Melania's red and black White House. And so next week, if you tune in, next week we will have a makeover show, and we will be making over the Red House, and we will reclaim it. And the theme of next week's show is, I want the flag. Because you see, what they've done is tried to distance liberals from the flag. And fuck that. I have every right to be proud to be an American. And that's so weird to say. It's so complicated. There's so much that needs to shift. But that's what I'm chewing on for the next week, is to regain my connection. Because I think when I feel disempowered by all that's going on in the world and overwhelmed by how fucked up America is, then I just, ugh. Does anybody know that feeling? Just, ugh.
Day can go fuck itself. Chadwick Boseman died.
Oh no.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
He's 43.
Oh. Chadwick Boseman died.
Chadwick.
So we just found out Chadwick Boseman died.
From colon cancer.
Colon cancer.
He had it for 4 years.
At least
he didn't come out publicly he never came out publicly about it.
At least the cops didn't kill him.
Which I also read about, another one in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough times. There's another murder in Texas, apparently, of a black man by police. So let's take a breath in. Yeah. Interesting week to be alive. So the White House has gone red. The cops still keep killing people of color. The White House is now a prop for the Republicans to do their work on. So next week we're gonna take America back, and it's gonna be a star-spangled red, white, and blue, but mostly white and blue, because we're getting ready for the big blue wave. Big blue wave. I want us all... Okay, let's do that for a minute. Let's all think about the big blue wave that's coming. And what that means is that we get back the Senate, and we keep the House, and we elect a different president. Big blue wave. And I have something to say to some of my more radical friends who want to say things like, oh, they're both evil, they're both fucked, both tickets suck, blah, blah. You know what? One is less evil. One is less evil. Get off your fucking high horse and vote. I'm fucking sick of that argument from my radical queer and weirdo friends who are just too idealistic to fucking vote. Fuck you. Vote. Quit fucking around. People are dying. Less people will die. Fucking sanctimonious bullshit. Fucking vote. Oops, I got a little preachy. I'm sorry. That wasn't very cool. I'm sorry, I don't like to be that extreme. But thank you all for listening. So, let's see. Where are we at now? Blue wave. Vote. Vote, yes. I'm going to go back just for a minute. Okay. So, I just wanted to come back here because I like pretending I'm on the South Lawn at the White House. And I'm having tea. Oh, I knocked over Rich. And here at our tea party in the garden, my friends Moldy Jesus and Marla Maples. Here's Marla. And if Moldy Jesus had anything to say, I think what he would say at a tea party in the Rose Garden, I think Moldy Jesus would say, "What the fuck did you do to the house? Seriously? Red? Red? Seriously? Red? Where'd all the trees go? Where'd all the roses go? What are you people doing? What are you doing?" And then Marla would say, "Did you know that he banned gold toilets in Trump Tower, except for his?" Let that sink in for a minute. Donald Trump has gold toilets. And he banned gold toilets from Trump Tower so that he could have the only gold toilet. Let that sink in. The only golden toilet in all of Trump Tower. The only golden toilet in all of Trump Tower. The only golden toilet in all of Trump Tower. And I'm having visions of that only golden toilet in all of Trump Tower overflowing from the depths of the New York sewers all the way up to the top of Trump Tower. Flowing manure and human waste flooding across the floors of Trump Tower, the marble inlaid brocade, beautiful floors, turds from the lower class people who live below, rising up, all 54 stories of Trump Tower until their fecal matter erupts through the golden toilet and blasts around the marble bathroom. Fecal matter flying through the air, across the room, across the bedroom, across the golden Louis XIV living room. Feces everywhere in Trump Tower. all I'm asking for is karmic justice. Let's be clear. That's like all I'm asking for is karmic justice. So to all that is, I'm not cursing anybody. I am asking for a witness and for a judge to come in and just administer rapid karmic justice. 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 So mote it be. That's my spell for today. I want to thank you all for coming. I want you all to be surrounded with love and light and evolution. And tune in next week for our Star-Spangled Lighthouse Makeover. Yay! Bye, everybody.